Hey friends, welcome to 2023. Isn't that so exciting? You made it through 2022. I know none of us thought we would ever be able to do it. We thought it would never end, and yet here we are. Happy New Year to all you awesome folks. I wanted to share 4 predictions that I have seen starting to ebb and flow through the industry. Would love to get your thoughts on them. Would love to see what you think about each of these as well. I'm going to go through 4 and would love to just get your thoughts on each of these. The very first thing that I wanted to talk about is a prediction that I think we're going to see come true pretty systemically and significantly through 2022 is automation is going to be the antidote to recession. Now, many of us are worried about a recession coming in this year, maybe next. I'm not an economist. I don't want to be an economist, but I think we can all see in the tea leaves, things may not be looking so good for us in the next couple of years. Okay, so that's the case. We can't stop inflation, but what we do have is an antidote to help us survive through it. It's just like a snake bite out in the woods, right? You can't stop the snake bite from happening, but you can take an antidote to help you get through it and ultimately to survive. And I think that antidote is automation. I think we're going to see a pretty significant focus and area of maturity and growth for leading MSPs around this idea of automation first. I think this is the thing that's going to help drive us to success and keep MSPs surviving long term through this year and next. Automation is going to be key for that. You're going to see more and more laggards and leaders through the lens of automation. Those that seize on it, those that invest in it, those that commit the time, not just to automate their own processes, but to go down an automation journey for their clients are going to stand the best opportunity to be successful in 2023. You want to know more about that? I would love to hear what you think about automation and how your MSP is going to tackle this and make it a competitive advantage for you going into this year. Give me some thoughts below. The second thing that I wanted to talk about is point versus platform will really rear its ugly head. And here's what I mean by this. We talk about point solutions. I've looked at so many different predictions for 2023, and almost every single one of them in cybersecurity is like, oh, point solutions have got to go. We need to consolidate. We need more and more things coming in together in a platform because the platform gives us cohesiveness. We have tool sprawl everywhere. Everybody is talking about this, not just in the channel, but also in just the broader enterprise space as well. Everyone's talking about platform over point, and I get it, right? Now, I don't think it's necessarily healthy, and I want to give a counterpoint. I want to give a hot take, if I may, to this whole idea of, is this the right pathway for us? So we know the big boys, especially in the channel, are pushing for deeper market share. We know that private equity has finally come into the market over the past few years, and while I don't think that's a bad thing, it does push for growth through consolidation and growth through how do we get more wallet share of more tools and more processes. Well, we claim that we have a platform, and you should jump into our platform because you can get rid of all of these sprawling tools over here that you don't need. While secretly we kind of ignore that maybe some of those tools are actual market leaders, are true innovators. And what they bring in, even though they may be a point solution, is the ability to do more with less, going back to that first prediction around automation. And so I think, in my opinion, just my hot take is, I think while you're going to see this push from the big vendors of consolidate to us to reduce churn, I just think you got to be careful. So when you hear messages like, beware, you need more tool consolidation, or you hear things like tool sprawl is the worst thing for an MSP, just raise your guard and say, maybe in some cases it does make sense to consolidate and go to a platform, but maybe in others, I lose my competitive advantage. I lose my pricing advantages. I lose my innovator first approach and mentality. That's my hot take. You're going to see more and more of this consolidation push, but I think more of it is about wallet share than it is actually what may be best for you as an MSP. So just be on your guard about it. Third prediction I want to make is some new technologies that are now coming down market. Okay, so we've seen in the channel that typically about 5 to 7 years of laggard time between what happens in the enterprise before things really start to come down market. And so I want to talk about that. There's, I guess, 3 technologies that I'm starting to see really have a push down market. And both compliance is driving this and just the need for good security is driving this, which creates a vacuum for a vendor space of who's going to serve this in a channel-friendly way. So the first one is PAM. Privileged Access Management. We're seeing more and more come around with Privileged Access Management, and we know the time has come for MSPs to truly adopt this en masse. We have got to get rid of local admins on machines. We have got to get rid of admins themselves at MSPs using shared admin accounts that exist across all their customer base. I know why you do it. Because you're managing 40, 50, 60 clients, and the ability for you to have admin controls to run updates and do different things on machines is difficult to have like 60 different iterations of that per analyst. So you share them. That's got to stop. Because when an analyst gets hit from an MSP, now they have keys to the kingdom from the bad guy's perspective. PAM tools address this. It's time to really come down and solve for this if you're an MSP. The second thing is shadow IT. Let's talk about shadow IT. We see more and more sprawl, to use that word from the second prediction, like never before. And what I mean by that is we're seeing users say, hey, this SaaS platform looks good. Click, add, sync my data, off I go, and the MSP is unaware. And then what we have is data goes everywhere and it's impossible to keep up with it. And for regulated clients, this is a huge nightmare because they don't know where their data actually is. And this becomes a huge challenge for you as an MSP when you start thinking through business impact analysis and how do I keep my clients up and running healthy, and when a disaster comes, what exactly is where? This is why shadow IT is becoming really important. It is both something that MSPs need to build education around so they can teach their clients why it matters, and they also need to solve for this to make sure that they can continue to run efficiently, going back to prediction 1, more than ever before. So those are 3, but I wanted to throw one fourth one out there because you know how I am. I love to give some extra gifts here. The fourth one that I see as a prediction coming through in 2023 is the cyber insurance market is going to see a total new rebirth. And let me tell you, does it ever need it? We know that we're seeing these long questionnaires with 6, 7 pages, tons of controls being asked with no clarity inside of it. Does this control actually matter? Are they going to reject me or my client if I say no on this? How do I handle that? I'm looking at this drop-down menu for EDR and none of the ones that I use even show up. They're all enterprise tools. Why is it so broken? And then we see the cost of insurance continuing to go up and up and up, and it seems that there's no end in sight, that we're on shifting sands with costs of premiums. And clients are getting frustrated with that. And then we're also seeing this new approach of external vulnerability scans before the underwriting process goes through. And so they're like, hey, look, your questionnaire looks okay, but give us your domain name and your IP addresses, and we're going to scan them real quick. And let me tell you, that is met with a lot of misery by clients where the wrong things are scanned, the wrong data comes back, and now the MSP looks really bad because the client's like, why did I get rejected for this XYZ finding over here? And the MSP is like, I don't know, it shouldn't even shown up. It's not correct, and it makes them look bad. We've got to just scrap all of this. We've got to have a better approach. And you're going to see that in 2023. We're going to see the new rebirth of cyber insurance that is finally much more modernized. That's going to look at your health hygiene as it is. It's going to reward you as an MSP for doing the right things and make your clients happy because they're going to see premium discounts because you're doing the right thing. We're going to see underwriting be more continuous, not this point in time where you fill out this questionnaire and answer this vulnerability scan. No, it's going to be continuous over time, and that continuous over time underwriting is going to truly be the thing that pulls down premiums because the loss ratios are getting better. We're going to see continuous underwriting that's looking constantly for, hey, we saw multi-factor turned off over here. We got to get that flipped on. We see some controls here that are not implemented for this particular user or computer. We need to get that into a standard hygiene level. These are the things that's going to push the insurance industry, kicking and screaming, I might say, into true success, and I'm excited about it. So there you have it, my friends. Those are my 4 predictions for 2023, but I want to know what yours are. I could be wrong and I could miss some things. So I'd love to know what yours are, because when we all talk about what we see coming, it makes us all better. All right, my friends, here's to a great 2023, and I can't wait to hear what you think down in the comments below. Thanks.